We appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. How are you enjoying South Carolina so far?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a little bit warmer than Vermont. It's nice.
A little bit warmer right now. Why should South Carolinians vote for you in Saturday's primary?
Because we have an agenda that speaks to the needs of working families, whether you're black or white or Latino, whoever you are. Because in South Carolina or any place else in America, you can't make it on $7.25 an hour or $9 an hour or $10 an hour. And we got to raise that federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. Because in South Carolina or any place else, you can't afford, many people can't afford the outrageous cost of health care. And we've got to do what every other major country on earth does, guarantee health care to all people as a human right and substantially lower the cost for working families. And people should vote for me because all of our kids, regardless of their income, have the right to get a higher education, college or trade school, if they're going to make it into the middle class. So those are some of the reasons why I'm asking for people's support.
Okay, and Rep. Clyburn did endorse Joe Biden the other day. How do you think that will affect the African-American vote on Saturday?
Well, actually, Jim Clyburn and I are old friends. We have worked together on a number of projects. We have expanded funding for community health centers by some $11 billion, which has impacted South Carolina. It's impacted Vermont and America. And I have a lot of respect for Jim Clyburn. But I think at the end of the day, people will vote for themselves. And there are real differences in what Joe Biden and I stand for. I think people will see that difference.
Okay. Some people may say you're too progressive, too radical for South Carolina voters. How do you appeal?
I think if people look at the issues, all right, you go on out, do a poll and ask people whether we should raise that minimum wage to $15 an hour. You know what they'll say? Do it. Ask them whether they think health care is a human right and that we should not be the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people. They say, let's do it. Ask people whether climate change is real or whether Donald Trump is right and it is a hoax. Well, people in South Carolina have seen with their own eyes what climate change is about. It's only going to get worse unless we have the courage to take on the fossil fuel industry and transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. So I think we are talking about the real issues facing this country and working people, and I think we're going to win a lot of support for that.
I do have a couple of viewer questions, which, you know, these are the voters out there. They want to know, they need more detail on how you'll fund some of these policies.
Sure. Well, the answer is that in terms of health care, for example, right now we are spending twice as much as the people of any other major country on earth, twice as much. So it goes without saying that if we have the courage to take on the drug companies who are ripping us off right and left, charging us in some cases 10 times more for the same exact medicine sold in Canada and elsewhere, when we do that and we lower the administrative costs involved in administering thousands of private insurance plans, we can guarantee health care to all people and save the average worker substantial sums of money.
Have you thought about a running mate if you do?
Are you looking for a job?
Hey, let's go.
No, that would be a little presumptuous now. Right now, we got to win the nomination, and we're working hard at that.
Willing to commit full force of your campaign to support a different Democratic nominee?
Look, I think, I've said that from day one. I think every Democratic candidate, I can speak for all of them, understands that it is absolutely imperative that we defeat Donald Trump, who is a pathological liar. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. Who is running a corrupt administration, who is a racist and a sexist and a homophobe and a xenophobe. So I think all of us understand that it is absolutely imperative that we defeat him. I hope to be the nominee. If not, I will support whoever is the nominee.
Are there aspects of your health plan that you would compromise on?
Well, it is already a compromise. It's a compromise in the sense that right now Medicare is the most popular health insurance program in the country. And what we do is take a 4-year period, transition over 4 years to cover everybody. In other words, right now you got to be 65 to be in Medicare. We lower it the first year to 55, and then 45, 35, then everybody's in. So that's kind of a compromise.
Priorities if you get in the White House from the start?
Well, one of the priorities is to do everything we can to end racism and sexism and homophobia and xenophobia and all of the discrimination that exists in America. And the other basic goal, which is what our campaign and administration will be about, is to create a government and an economy that work for all of us, not just wealthy campaign contributors.
Okay,
Okay?
we're done.
Okay.
Okay, that goes quick.
Well, when you have it,
gosh.
you know, when you're
We're on
having
a
fun.
tight schedule.